Way to go. Keep it going. Good job, guys. All right, Paul. I see you. All right, Charlie. Finish on. Coach Carl.
Great job, guys.
Good afternoon and welcome again to Conquer 2020, a series of Facebook Lives to help you make the most out of 2020, which is really just around the corner. Today I just want to share a quote from Ernest Hemingway, and the quote is, "Never mistake motion for action." Pretty cool quote? Absolutely. But as you know, I'm the seriously simple stuff dude. So this is what it's all about. Never mistake motion for action. So some of you may be asking, well, what's the difference, Tony? What's the difference between motion and action? And from my perception, there's a big difference. Motion is any kind of movement. Now, the trees blowing in the wind, waves being whipped up by the weather, you've got rocks that can tumble down a cliff, and you've even got probably a pretty drastic sort of a thing, the avalanche, the snow avalanche is motion. A person sitting on a bus could be seen to be in motion. Now, motion can be good and motion can be bad. And it can be good if we're on the bus on the way to work, for example, but it's probably bad if you're caught in a current or a rip at the beach. It's that motion that we have little control over that is really the scary part. And my perception around this quote is the scary part. A lot of people are busy, a lot of people are constantly moving, but we're not actually achieving anything because we're being caught up in however the world is pulling us, whichever way. And if you look at that analogy of being caught on the beach in a rip and the rip's pulling you to sea, if you're putting action into swimming against the rip, it's wasted action. But if you think smarter and be intentional about that action and swim with the rip at an angle, you'll ultimately get out of the rip, which then allows you to be able to swim back to shore without the current. So that's good action, and you ultimately get out. So motion is movement, right? And sometimes that can be a good thing, but it's the motion that we have little control over that is the bad thing. And that's the worrying thing. Action, in my mind, is dedicated action and behaviors. Now, again, these are often good, but they're also not so good because some of our actions and behaviors are dumb and reckless, right? And some of our behaviors are self-sabotaging. So they're not good, right? But when we talk about intentional action, it's about control and intent, right? Our actions are determined by what we think and what we want to achieve. Our actions are vital. Just because we may be moving doesn't make it good. And it's the intentional actions that we take that move us in the right way. Remember, 2 marathons, 2 books. That's my goal for Conquer 2020. I need to make sure my action is dedicated towards achieving that. So please, whatever you do, don't mistake motion for action, because it's the action that gets you towards your goals that is going to enable you to conquer 2020. One of those actions you can do right now is join the Coach Carl Academy right here on Facebook. It's free. There is a number of units already within that Facebook community that you can go in and check. There's goal setting, there's life hacks, there's behavioral stuff. It's all sitting in there now within the Facebook community. It's really good action. All you have to do is do a quick search, the Coach Carl Academy. You'll find it in Facebook, and I'd love to welcome you there. Remember, Conquering 2020 is about us kicking butt and making sure that 2020 is one of the best years that we've had, and not just another season going past. I'm Tony. I hope you've enjoyed. If you think someone can get some value out of today's Facebook Live, please share it with your community, with your friends, and I'll see you as always. See you tomorrow. Bye.